Buhari government amends terrorism charges against Nnamdi Kanu. So it is true that these people don't want to release Nnamdi Kanu. After having been discharged and acquitted by courts of appropriate jurisdictions, federal government under the leadership of Malami, the Attorney General of the Federation, has refused to release Nnamdi Kanu, and they kept him in detention under the DSS up till now, disobeying the rule of law, appealing judgment from here to there. So now they have gone to amend terrorism charges against Nnamdi Kanu. Let's see how they did it. The Nigerian government has amended the 7-count terrorism charges against Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. The government filed the amended 7-count terrorism charges against Nnamdi Kanu. The amended charge marked FHC/ABJ/CR/383/2015, which was entered before the Federal High Court in Abuja, contained all allegations against Kanu that were earlier sustained by the court. Now, in a broadcast, the federal government said Kanu had issued a deadly threat that anyone who flattered IPOB's sit-at-home order in the Southeast should write his or her will. The government claimed that in 2018, Kanu severally made broadcasts that incited its members to kill security operatives and families. So it noted that the offense was punishable under Section 1, Subsection 2, Subsection H of the Terrorism Prevention Amendment Act 2013. So they've gone to amend the charges against Nnamdi Kanu, and they are citing 2 cases here where he said anybody that flouts the sit-at-home order should write his will. And then they're also saying that in 2018, Kanu severally made broadcasts that incited the members of IPOB to kill security operatives. How can Malami be so mischievous? How can this federal government be so mischievous and telling Nigerians lies? Now we understand how they have been chasing Nnamdi Kanu, how they have used soldiers to his house, how they killed his people, his brothers and sisters, how they almost killed his parents, and they did several things against him. And luckily, he was able to escape their hand and then went back to the UK. Now we know how they put soldiers everywhere, up till Obigbo in Port Harcourt. They were killing everybody. Even Wike was there looking at them. They were killing Igbos. So what has Nnamdi Kanu done that is now more serious than what the IPOB, what the Boko Haram, what the ISWAP are doing in the north? Who has Kanu bombed? Who has Kanu bombed? How many churches, how many mosques has Kanu bombed? The people in the Southeast are merely defending themselves against the tyranny of Nigerian government. And what is Nnamdi Kanu's offense? Because he's telling them the mischievous agenda that the Fulanis have against Nigeria. Because he released all their secrets and all their information. They said he has large mouth and he's saying too much. Now, they have held him against his wish for almost 18 months now. Now, he has been in London. He went from London to Kenya with British passport as a British citizen. All right? And when he got to Kenya, Nigerian government got a wind of it. They went and aligned with Kenyan government, and then Kenyan government succumbed to the lies of federal government of Nigeria, and then they kidnapped him from Kenya back to Nigeria. So he's coming to face justice. What has he done? Why are these people so mischievous? Now, Boko Haram have been ravaging the Northeast right from 2015, even before 2015, but it got worse 2015 when Buhari entered. Now, who could even be more mischievous when under Jonathan government, Buhari threatened that if he does not become the president of Nigeria, that he will make Nigeria ungovernable. Who has arrested him for that? Now, to avoid, Jonathan would have challenged his victory in 2015, but to avoid bloodshed, Jonathan had to allow him to take over. Now he has taken over. Now, all immediately took over. Look at how the Boko Haram had started. They had to start another dimension of killing, maiming in the north. Now, what Buhari did was to recruit repentant Boko Haram members into the Nigerian army. And that is why all the intelligent information that Nigerian army has to fight against terrorism never worked, because the military has been infiltrated by Boko Haram. What could be more dangerous than when the then army chief of staff, under his nose, came and did massacre here at a Lekki toll gate in October 2020, when people were protesting against the SARS, and they targeted NSAS. So what has Nnamdi Kanu done? This is a sheer hatred that the Fulanis has for the Igbos. It is obvious. It is absolutely obvious. The Fulanis want to annihilate the Igbos. That is the plan. It is not obvious too that the Fulani cabal don't want to release Nnamdi Kanu. And the worst of all is that UK government is watching it happening. And they know that Nnamdi Kanu is their citizen. And they know that Nnamdi Kanu went to Kenya as a British citizen with a British passport. They know that Nnamdi Kanu did not do anything. The impunity the Fulanis are having to operate is because the British have made them to understand that they own Nigeria, and ruling Nigeria is a birthright. So if people come and say that the British has hand in what is happening in Nigeria, I will not dispute it. I will not dispute it. So really this man, because he has not committed any offense, he is only asking for sovereignty. He is only asking that let the Igbos go, let the Biafra go. Everybody in the world has a right to call for referendum. If you are no longer interested and you no longer like what is happening, you call for referendum. Quebec in Canada has been calling for a referendum to secede from Canada, and no war has been seen. Scotland has been asking for a referendum to break away from the United Kingdom, to break away from the British, but no war has been seen. Recently, the British had to go into a referendum to break away from the Europe, and they call it Brexit. And there was no war. They did that peacefully. They did that by election. They did that by debate, a constructive, healthy debate. And then they successfully left the European Union. So what is there in asking for a referendum and to stay away as an autonomous nation? If you know you don't like it, then you should do something that will make everybody in Nigeria feel belong. And if you have to do it constructively, call for a roundtable and ask why and what can be done to correct it. Otherwise, you do the referendum. And let's cast the vote and see whether they win or they don't. Just like it was done in Quebec in Canada. They called for election, they called for vote, and then Quebec still lost. And that is why that referendum has not taken place. Sorry, that secession has not taken place till now. The Fulanis meant bad for Nigeria. It is obvious they meant very bad thing for Nigeria. And God will help us. So this is what Malami has done, amended 7 count charges against Nnamdi Kanu, purposely to continue to detain him under the DSS. The only thing I see here is that they are scared of releasing Nnamdi Kanu so that he does not do anything that would disrupt the upcoming election. So I'm sure they want to keep him until after election before they release him, because they already know that there is nothing Nnamdi Kanu has done that holding him against his human right, that holding him against his wish. This is kidnap. This is kidnap. This is kidnap. Huriwa has told them to release this man. United Nations Security Council, United Nations Governing Council, they are also part of this problem, because they are supposed to step into this matter and get this man released, as he has been held against his wish and against his human right for close to 18 months now. And the world is watching. The world is watching. It's quite unfortunate. I just pray that one day Nnamdi Kanu will secure his release and all of this will settle. Thank you for listening, and make your comment below.